This is Federalist 15, Part 1 by Alexander Hamilton. Up to now, Federalist 1 through 14, he has been, for the most part, talking about why we need to stay united. Of course, in Federalist number 9 and 10, he mentions that the Confederacy we live under has got many faults. But starting with Federalist number 15, here he's going to talk about the insufficiency of the present Confederation to preserve the Union. And from Federalist 15 through 20 or so, he talks about what the problems are with the Confederacy that United States lives under, and what the problems have been with weak confederacies all around the world. These are very important. Okay, I will start reading them for you. In the course of the preceding papers, meaning the past papers, I have endeavored, my fellow citizens, to place before you in a clear and convincing light the importance of union to your political safety and happiness. I have unfolded to you a complication of dangers to which you would be exposed should you permit that sacred knot which binds the people of America together to be severed or dissolved by ambition or by avarice, by jealousy or by misrepresentation. In the sequel of the inquiry through which I propose to accompany you, in the sequel he means in the following papers, that I will be accompanying you, that I will be writing to you, the truths intended to be inculcated will receive further confirmation from facts and arguments hitherto unnoticed. If the road over which you will still have to pass should in some places appear to you tedious or irksome, you will recollect that you are in quest of information on a subject the most momentous which can engage the attention of a free people, that the field through which you have to travel is in itself spacious, and that the difficulties of the journey have been unnecessarily increased by the mazes with which sophistry has beset the way. It will be my aim to remove the obstacles to your progress in as compendious a manner as it can be done without sacrificing utility to dispatch. So here even Hamilton acknowledges that these arguments are not going to be easy. What he's going to write in these papers will not be easy. That's why I tell you, I've mentioned it before, that don't get disappointed if at first some of these become difficult for you. Because notice he uses the words tedious, irksome. These are difficult, complicated. It's going to bother you. It's going to be difficult for you to go through them. But he says they are the most momentous issues and subjects that will be presented to you. These are the most important things that a free people should be attentive to, should pay attention to. And he says, throughout this road that we have ahead, there will be people that with sophistry, they will tell you either lies or half-truths or try to complicate things so that you will be disappointed and give up hope. So he says, don't fall for that. the next paragraph, in the pursuance of the plan which I have laid down for the discussion of the subject, the point next in order to be examined is the insufficiency of the present confederation to the preservation of the Union. This is exactly why I've put this in front of you to look at. It may perhaps be asked what need there is of reasoning or proof to illustrate a position which is not either controverted or doubted, to which understandings and feelings of all classes of men assent, and which substance is admitted by the opponents as well as the friends of the new Constitution. Even our opponents agree that this confederation has problems. It must in truth be acknowledged that, however these may differ in other respects, they in general appear to harmonize in this sentiment at least, that there are material imperfections in our national system and that something is necessary to be done to rescue us from impending anarchy. See, when he says national, he's talking about the confederacy that we live under, the Articles of Confederation. He says if we don't correct it, there is impending anarchy. There is anarchy around the corner. The fact that support this opinion are no longer objects of speculation. They have forced themselves upon the sensibility of the people at large and have at length extorted from those whose mistaken policy has had the principal share in precipitating the extremity at which we are arrived, a reluctant confession of the reality of those defects in the scheme of our federal government which have been long pointed out and regretted by the intelligent friends of the Union. Again, here the federal government that he mentions, he is talking about the Confederacy, the Articles of Confederation. So remember, these will be a little difficult to go through these papers, but the same thing happened to me. The first time I read them all, it was not clear because I did not know the context that these papers were written in. That's why I introduce these books to you every once in a while. And I tell you about all these videos that you need to watch, and these will gradually make sense. So read through them, watch some of these videos that I mentioned, some of the talks by some of these historians. And the first time you go through these 85 papers, it will make some sense. You will get comfortable with it, just like I did. I wasn't comfortable with them the first time I read them. Then when you know the context of history, then they will make more sense as you go along. So have the text with you, follow my reading or somebody else's reading, and every once in a while I will give you pointers on what he's talking about. And then when you go through the whole thing and then watch some of those historians' talks, it'll gradually start making more sense. So we will go to part 2 in the next video.